Please welcome back to the stage, Director Claire Denis, Dillon, McKenna-Bruce, Blyth. Adapted by Bernard-Marie Coltez's play from 1979, Black Battles with Dogs. What drew you to adapt this play into a film?
Well, it's hard to give a short answer to that because it's. I met Isaach de Bankolé and Bernard-Marie Coltez together. Bernard was a famous playwright, a young man, and we were watching his work with Isaach with admiration. But then Bernard got AIDS and he became, at that time in the 80s, he died in 89, and the treatment for AIDS was not existing. So he came when I was shooting Chocolat in Cameroon, he visited us, and then we decided maybe to write together a script, but then he had no time to do that. He died before, and he said, maybe the easiest for you, let's adapt this play, you know? And I thought, I will never do it. I was terribly, you know, he died in like a couple of months, you know, so I thought maybe it's something impossible. And then by years goes by, and as I'm getting older, I thought maybe I have to do it. That's all. And it was not so easy to adapt that play, no.
Thank you for sharing that. It's very sad that such a talented young man passed, but I imagine wherever he is now, he's quite pleased.
I don't want to make it sad. The sadness is that the time was short.
I agree, yes. Matt, we recently discovered what a cinephile you are in the Criterion closet. I know a lot of people were very excited about that. Can you talk a little bit about how you came on board this project and speak to your collaboration with Claire?
Okay, well, I met Claire many years ago. We've known each other through mutual friends over the years, and we ran into each other in Paris, and she said, I have this idea, I want to talk to you about it, and we met, and she told me about the project before I read the script, and I thought it was really interesting, and I'm a fan of Claire's work, so I really like, I haven't seen everything, but from what I'd seen, so that's how it came to be for me, and I thought that the setting of this was really, really compelling and unusual.
You were very generous, always, each time I met you.
Thank you.
Yeah, always.
Talk a little bit about what the collaboration between the two of you were, the creative process.
You mean the two of us?
Yes.
I mean, very little. It's hard for me. I always think the less is told, the faster we are on. I mean,
my job is to just shut up and do what she tells me to do.
It's not completely true.
I'm just joking. Okay, it's not.
But it is true that it's better to be in the middle of it and not speak explanation, psychological explanation before, you know, too much. I don't like that very much. I don't know, I think instead of rising ideas, sometimes it switched them off. You know, I prefer to be working. As soon as we were in Senegal together, it was easy to share the movie.
Well, Senegal really plays like a additional character in the film. Mia, this film was shot entirely there. Can you share what that experience was for you, filming in this environment?
Yeah, of course. We spent nearly 3 months, I think, in Senegal in total. And it was just the most incredible place I think I've ever been to. I wouldn't have been to otherwise if we didn't get to shoot this movie, so I'm incredibly grateful. And just the people there were so welcoming. We had the most magical time. And I mean, we shot most of the movie at night, obviously. So it meant like we got to explore during the day, and yeah, it was just magical.
Sounds wonderful.
She's very generous.
It's true!
Because the atmosphere feels very intense and
it was actually freezing as well at night, which added to the drama, I think.
And you shared with me last night, because you're a vegetarian, you often ate the same meal day after day.
Yeah,
I
I did.
appreciated it all the same.
Yeah, it was delicious. It was just the same thing every day.
Tom, your character infuses the film with unsettling tension throughout the film. Can you talk a little bit about what you did to embody your characters? Really riveting.
Yeah, I mean, Cal's just a really lost boy, so I kind of tried to lean into his like, almost like Peter Pan lost boy quality. I think I built a life for him, a backstory that was about he comes from a damaged home, but he's still trying to create a life for himself because he's trying to get it away from his past, but can't quite escape his demons. And in Horn, he finds like a father figure and a brother, and it's just someone who he kind of falls in love with because it's everything he wants to be. He sees Horn as being powerful and self-assured and self-actualized. So when Leonie comes in, he sees her as a threat, even though he's kind of attracted to her. And, you know, it's the first woman he's probably seen in months, if not years. And so I just leaned into the lostness of him and tried to feel where that sat in my body, I think.
It was such a
Can
strong...
I say something after you, Tom? I think it's not like a father or a brother. I think...
I was totally wrong.
No, Cal and Horn, Cal loves Horn, you know, it's more, it's very, the link is very strong, and suddenly he wants to stop, he's getting married, so I think he's desperate, and I think it's like broken something that seems so perfect, you know, for me.
For me too.
Okay. Thank you.
And I will say, you know, I think that ambiguity was very, very powerful, because I also watched the film with 2 other programmers, and the longest conversation we had after we saw the film was actually what was actually the relationship between those 2 characters, and we all had a slightly different take. So I think that made it all the more interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about that too, right? We talked quite at length, 3 of us especially, about what it was, and ultimately we didn't put an answer on it, and I think that's what I like to do personally anyway. I like the ambiguity. I like in life we don't often know, I think. We don't often actually know how we feel until way down the line, and it's more interesting to play in the grey area, like how does he see Horn? I think there is love in there. I think there's father, brother, there's everything. There's like I don't think Cal knows what Horn is to him. He just knows he wants to be the most important thing to him, and now he's not.
Yes, absolutely. You know, neo-colonialism is a dominant theme through many of your films. You've done some wonderful work addressing this. Is there some reason that you think it's important to explore these themes again at this time?
Because it's still there. I mean, it's not an old colonial time is gone, but there is a new economical way to relationship with the African continent are interesting, to look at, They are not completely fair, I guess.
And Mia. Tom and Mia, you've both done very commercial work as well. What was the appeal to do this very much more artistic project with Claire Denis?
Claire Denis is the queen of film. And I just think the way that Claire captures people and humans is really inspiring, and the opportunity to kind of be in amongst that and get to work alongside her. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been a Claire Denis film fan for years, and so when this opportunity came along, before I even knew if I was going to do it, I flew to Paris just to meet Claire, and we had a big long breakfast, and she told me I looked hungry, because I was. And we were supposed to have like a 45-minute meeting and sat for 3 hours and chatted, and I fell in love with Claire and her work, and yeah, it was just when I was lucky enough to be asked to do it, it was a no-brainer. Yeah.
On Tom's birthday, which we celebrated in Senegal, he said, we were on set, and he said, this is the best birthday I could have wished for because he got the chance to work with Claire.
I didn't know, but I remember you told me you were from Nottingham, and I said, well, I like the accent of Nottingham, and the musician,
Tindersticks.
two artists from Nottingham.
Yeah, the band who did the music.
Tindersticks.
They're an old friend of Claire's, so there was the Nottingham link there as well.
That's the only reason why.
And then she told me she wanted me to do a Nottingham accent in the film, and I have long since forgotten how I used to speak when I lived in Nottingham, so that was the biggest challenge.
So once you've done a very intense character, how hard is it actually to get out of or leave that character, is the question.
Oh man, I mean, I don't know if my character in this is particularly more intense than anyone else's. I think Isaach, he blew me away. This is my first time seeing it, as for you guys as well. And Isaach is just so magnetic. Yeah, so he has the really intense job, I think, because he's playing through the trauma of what happens to his brother. But I suppose to try and answer your question, I think what Claire's amazing at is letting actors play, quite literally in the sand here, and like exploring. And so it feels like exploring, and we're doing a film that is adapted from a play, and so it felt like you can explore the poetry of it. And yes, it's intense. Yes, it's dark. You're dealing with intense themes of neocolonialism and oppression, but also we're actors, and so you go home and you sit and you have a glass of wine with these guys at the hotel and talk about how hard the day was, and then you go to bed.
And if I may add something, a little thing, there was the DP of the film, Eric Gautier, was we were so close. It was so easy to move from one side of the fence to the other side. You remember, for the first time of my life, we shot in order, and also Eric was able to move so fast that instead of doing only one angle in a row, we were able to move fast to follow the point of views, so I think I was very lucky to have been working with Eric Gautier.
The cinematography is just wonderful. So, Matt, I'm going to leave it with you. If you could leave the audience, I would like to leave one thing with the audience.
Oh, one thing with the audience? Well, I don't know what to say, man. I think what I'd like to say is that I was pretty blown away, that I think Claire did an incredible job, but I was really, the performances from Tom and from Mia and from Isaach were just incredible, and I'd say that's what I would like to say, that I was very impressed with the performances of these actors.
And you have trusted me. That was the best.
Thank you for trusting me.
Thank you very much. I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much, Claire Denis. Thank you so much.
Hey, this is Eric from MyOnCinema.com. If you want to support us, subscribe below. For more reviews, interviews, film festival coverage from Sundance, Cannes, Toronto, you want to check out these guys on this side.